61-55 triple overtime loss here at Sun Devil Stadium for Arizona State against Oregon. A tough one. They fall to 500 on the season, have lost 2 in a row. That's Sun Devil Sources' Chris Cartman. I'm Jared Cohen, Sports 360 AZ. Now, while everyone's up in arms about the officiating, the missed offsides that led to an interception, the toe in the back of the end zone, this is a game, when you look at the numbers, that really it should not have even gotten to that point.
Absolutely. When you get 700 yards of total offense, when you have 40 plus more plays than your opponent, ASU should have won this game really easily. They had multiple trips inside the opponent's 40-yard line where they got moved back on first down because of negative plays. They missed 3 field goals. They had a 100-yard return for a touchdown. They had Tayshawn Smallwood hit a guy after a play for a 15-yard penalty, which extended the drive. It would have been 3rd and 10, and instead Oregon gets 3 points. So many opportunities for ASU. I mean, they didn't finish in the red zone a couple times, and they had touchdown opportunities inside the 10-yard line. There's no way the game should have been an overtime game. And when you allow another team to have that type of a stay in the game situation, that's kind of what happens.
Oregon's defense wasn't stopping anybody. I mean, you look at the way Demario Richard and Kalen Ballage and DJ Foster getting into the act, they weren't stopping anyone. This defense is not very good. It's over 700 yards of offense, as you mentioned. To look at a positive here, do you feel like maybe this offense is clicking, even though this loss comes at a tough time? You got 4 games left. Maybe there's something that's starting to click with this unit.
Well, this was the team to get healthy against, right? Because Oregon is last in almost every category of passing defense in the league. ASU struggled with its passing offense. So yeah, they got back on track. I think DJ Foster, what they did was they moved him into the backfield more. They used him in that slot role, that kind of where he first started his career and had a lot of success. So they definitely got more rhythm going. I mean, Demario Richard and Kalen Ballage, 200-yard rushers, that hasn't happened in a really, really long time for ASU. So I think they're going to be able to sustain that. It's just a matter of whether or not they can now get fully in sync with all their units, and it's going to be hard. I mean, these other teams that they're playing Washington State on the road, Cal on the road. I mean, that's Arizona. It's not easy.
Yeah, and you got Washington in there too. That they're coming here.
Yep.
They beat USC at home. The defense, Coach Graham was very, very open about how disappointed he was in the discipline and the mistakes on the defensive side of the ball. This has been the staple of this team since he got here, the discipline being fundamentally sound, but the amount of mistakes just piled up, and that really cost them in the end.
Well, they had done a pretty good job of not giving up too many big plays, especially run plays to this point in the season. They had the long touchdown run by Freeman. They had these home run shots that were available, and they got kind of lit up on some really big plays. ASU came into this game giving up 7.9 yards per pass, which is the most in the Pac-12. They didn't do anything to really kind of resolve that, and so now it looks like they're kind of reeling on the back end. I mean, Kareem Orr is a true freshman who's kind of struggled out there. Quishy Brown is a corner that opponents have started to pick on a little bit more at that corner position. You got to be able to get stopped. If you can't keep a team from getting 4 or 5 touchdowns at the end of the game to make it what it is at the end, that's your responsibility, especially when you shoot yourself in the foot with some of the boneheaded penalties.
And no rest for the weary. They're playing the best passing offense in the conference, and one of the best in the country next week in Washington State. Where do we go from here? What's the goal here if you're Arizona State and you're Todd Graham as you're 4-4, just about to start the month of November? Well,
the positive news is that this team tends to be kind of mature and resilient. We haven't seen them really have a poor effort game. They've struggled with communication, execution. They've made a lot of physical mistakes, guys not tackling, but they've kind of still come out, practiced properly, put on a brave face. I know that their ultimate goals this season are done. I mean, that's over. But I don't think that they're going to just throw in the towel and not come to play in the remaining games.
That's the Sun Devil Sources' Chris Cartman. I'm Jared Cohen. Again, ASU falls to Oregon in triple overtime on this Thursday night edition of Pac-12 football.